So there are 6 sectors we have identified, and we will have individual presentation: automobile, energy, infrastructure, aviation, and pharma. So just to add what you said, Indian, you gave the Vietnamese perspective. I'll just give 2-3 words on the Indian perspective. One, Indian SMEs are extremely competitive and strong. So anyone who can do business in India, they can flourish anywhere in the world. So that's the strength, because India provides some of the most complex culture for business. So the second thing is our SME is almost equivalent to the large section enterprises in Vietnam. So basically, the amount of investment Indian SMEs does here in India, we can, with that amount of investment, we can establish good, decent level of businesses in Vietnam, and then Vietnam becomes a gateway to America and a lot of other parts of the world that we know, and we'll listen to other speakers on that. So thank you so much, Mr. Saxena. Now I would like to request Mr. Hart to make the final remarks for the inaugural session, and then we'll directly go to the individual sectoral presentations.
Yeah. First of all, I would like to give big thanks to His Excellency, Mr. Pham Sanh Chau, to give me this chance to be here to present some most potential industry in Vietnam for potential investment. Actually, it's a very, very challenging job because in Vietnam we have various potential and attractive investor, but I just have 30 minutes to share my own experience and observation as a more than 10-year investment bank to work with various kind of foreign investor in Vietnam, from Singapore, Korea, Japan, Malaysia, and sadly I rarely work with Indian investor. I think we will have some work with Tata Group in the past, and hopefully with the enthusiastic work of the ambassador, and we will have a lot of business cooperation, especially in investment space. So I would like just to present some key features of 3 industry: hospitality, electricity, and pharmaceutical in Vietnam, and some key advantage as well as key issue for investment in this sector from the investment banker view. Hospitality, now Vietnam, we have a very attractive feature with the landmark of beautiful vast seaboard coastline, and for the last 10 years we experienced huge growth for tourism. I think ranking the fastest growing destination in the world, ranked number 3 globally and number 1 in Southeast Asia, with 29% increase in international visitor for 2017. And key growth driver is the easier access for international visitor with more convenient visa approval process. Improving and developing infrastructure, including the expansion of international flight routes, improving connection to remote area, and upgrading accommodation hotel. And for the top 10 countries with a high growth for international visitor, 2017 is China, Korea, Japan, France, US, and the growth rate is from 20% to even 50%. And we have offer a wide range of tourism activity with rich country heritage and natural attractions such as the UNESCO World Heritage Site to pristine beaches and mountainous highland. And Vietnam has seen by international tourists and developers as a more affordable destination than more established regional markets such as Thailand or Indonesia. and also government give very strong support for the tourism development. But some key issues still, I think, remain. I think the key is like the quality of the service, the quality of human resources in international in tourism comparing to Thailand or Indonesia. Actually, we have very big, beautiful sites comparing like Phuket or Bali, comparing with Phu Quoc or Da Nang. We are or more beautiful, but we a little bit behind Thailand and Indonesia in terms of the human quality for the service. And some key issue is for the last 3 years is like the growth of Chinese tourism. It's like so hot. It's so a lot of the Chinese the tourists coming in, and there is like they introduce zero tour, and a lot of the Chinese tourists come in, and it's too hot growth for Chinese, and lead to some potential issue. Looking in some key city for tourism is like Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, Da Nang, and Nha Trang. Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi is both for business traveler and also for the tourism, and the top tier city like Da Nang, Nha Trang, and recently Phu Quoc, and also Mũi Né, as you said, experience now experience huge growth for international and also local tourism and hospitality activity. As Vietnam become still growing very strongly with GDP growth 6.5 to 7%, and middle income class growing. Also, the local demand for tourists is also very strong. It's like the growth rate is more than 10% a year. But comparing to Thailand and Indonesia, our market size is still very lagging behind, and so I think it's a lot of potential, because such as for Thailand, it's like total international tourism is about 60 to 70 million, but in Vietnam that's not I think 18 million. So we have a huge potential to tap in. And as for the last 5 years, the growing accommodation industry, driven both by domestic and international tourism, we see a lot of new luxury hotel resorts in operation, and the occupancy rate improve a lot from like normally 50%, but now for some hot reasons, just hotel in 1 or 2 years in operation, but the occupancy rate can be 70 to 80%. And so there's some associating and key some very good events that support the growing tourism is like the Cham Kim Summit or the Formula One Grand Prix in Vietnam, and a lot of because of that, a lot of aircraft business want to enter the market. Like IICCI, they waited for like 5 years to make a joint venture, but not yet successful. But we have a new carrier locally, Bamboo Airways, just start more than a year, and it's growing very, very good, thanks to the growth of tourism. Yeah, so that's one of the, I think, key industries that government support and consider as a key driver of the economy, because hospitality is driven by the growth of tourists is considered the key industry for Vietnam. And I'd like to give you some overview on Vietnam electricity. Why electricity? Because the price of electricity in Vietnam is quite low, subsidized, and gradually the subsidy will remove. And also now Vietnam electricity market is also monopoly by EVN, the state-owned incumbent player. But in the next, I think, 5 to 10 years, the market is liberalized, and the tariff gradually going up and offer potential investor some good chance to be in the game. Yep. So on the demand side, because the economic growth expected to like 6.5 to 7% in the next 10 years, so the demand for electricity normally 1.5 or 2 times, and the GDP growth is also more than 10% for the next 10 years expected. And we actually for the last 3-5 years electricity shortage not prevail, but given the recently interaction between demand and supply, and some obstacle in developing new supply from coal or thermal power, we think that, and also because the economy is still growing very strong, so there should be some shortage in the next very short term. And actually recently the government, I think early this year, warning about the electricity shortage, and like pushing EVN that if the shortage or some shutdown happen, some EVN need to be responsible for that. Yeah. Yes, so this year a little bit more detail, but we explain some the mechanism for pricing in the electricity industry is like we have like 2 kind of long-term tariff mechanism and competitive market that the government introduced and will be applied in the near future very soon. Yeah, and in order to stimulate the industry, government also try to privatize some big generator. So it may offer international investor with some good chance. Yeah, this is some potential privatized company. Yes. And the final sector I would like to give you an overview is pharmaceutical. So the key driver under the attractiveness of this industry is the aging population. The number of Vietnamese aged 65 and older is projected to be 7.4 million by 2020. And rise nearly 7.9% of the total population by that time, and we will reach 9.5% of total population by 2025. And also the expansion of the social health insurance scheme. Vietnam currently aims for the sweeping increase of 100% full health insurance coverage by 2020, up from 88.9% in 2018 and 60% from 2010. And also in terms of market penetration, we still have a low pharmaceutical sale per capita, 61.10 US dollar. Comparing to Thailand and Malaysia, is like we are 30% lower. Yeah. And this market enjoy very strong growth. The annual growth every year is like more than 10%, double digits growth. And imported drugs dominate the market with from the market share from 50 to 55. And every year Vietnam spend about 2.5 billion US dollar for imported medicine and drugs. The growth rate for the last 8 years is about annual growth rate 9.5%. And more than 55% originated from EU. France, Germany mainly, only penetrated into the 10% of the central hospital, 35% to 69% for provincial and district level hospital. And Ministry of Health aim to raise the proportion of domestic medicine consumed to 30% in central hospital, 50% and 70% respectively for the provincial and district hospital. Key feature of the Vietnam pharmaceutical market is the strong reliance on also imported raw materials, 80 to 85% of the demand. In 2018, Vietnam imported more than 400 million US dollar in pharmaceutical ingredient, 8.5% annual growth, and the CAGR for 2011 to 2018 is almost 13%. And the proportion of imported market from China is also very strongly. And domestic drugs might increase at a higher rate than overall market in the next coming year because the government policy and the restructure public hospital and clinics. Yeah, so that's some key feature. I think most promising industry from my viewpoint. I've got a lot other industry, but that's what I want to share. And frankly speaking, for the last 2-3 years, we see huge foreign investment inflow in Vietnam because of the, as Dr. Thanh said, that we are in the turning point from low income to middle income, and expect a strong jump, and money flow from Korea, Singapore, Japan into Vietnam, and hopefully that we will see more and more Indian investment in Vietnam very soon. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ha. You have actually filled the gap that we had. We wanted, some points on the aviation sector and the pharma sector. You have very nicely covered both sectors, and you have actually initiated our next session, that is sectoral presentations.